Hey all, Game Methuselah. I was going to take a quick picture of this and put it on both YouTube and my Twitter account to just show super speed painting. And I do this often with miniatures that are, not really known by people and are really simple, shambling mounds, gricks, anything that really is kind of indistinct in itself and is easy just to sort of slop paint on. These were great. And the reason I wanted to show these is even though these miniatures are really not well painted, this is super speed painting. I have a total of about 6 hours of brush time in this. A little bit more. Figure more than likely another 45 to 60 minutes in just prep. And the reason for that is all the 3D modeled miniatures here were really nicely done. The resin was good. There wasn't any seams, really easy to clean. These two WizKids figures came out perfectly right out of the box, didn't require any work. And these little here, which I think are Reaper hard plastic little mushrooms, were exactly the same. No work required, just mounted them up, magnetized them, primed them, and then went. So you figure 6 hours of paint time. Most of my time is actually drying time. And figure maybe, like I said, an hour at the most in assembly. And you have basically at this point 14 myconids, 3 little mushrooms, plus these are some old mushrooms and man-eating plants, and I've got some pre-painted man-eating plants I'm working on also. But this is for my foray into the Underdark. So we're going to start with this. I painted these two here, the two WizKids, basically in the color scheme they had on the back of the blister. And I think this is great for little Underdark infested myconids who've somehow been susceptible and taken control of. And they're going to be the boss monsters. And I think what I'm going to do here is use Matt Coville's boss monster creation, just something unique that I really liked in a video he just did on creating boss monsters. And I thought it was really good, so I want to try it out. The only difference is I'm going to do it in 4th edition. But here you're looking at something less than 20 minutes of actual in-time painting on each of these, on these figures here. That produces a lot of stuff. Now, they're not going to win any awards. They're not going to wow your friends. But when they're on the board, as you can see here, all together, these little red cap mushrooms make a really unique little band of monsters. And then, of course, other things you can find out there. Craft shops have these little red cap mushrooms. They're terrible, but you could doll them up, or if nothing else, just have them to add on to later. I had some other older pieces. I've had some additional pieces that were pre-painted that I cleaned up, but I think most of these have already been shown in the past. The only thing I want to tell you, though, is try some of this next time you're going to be doing some group of creatures that are not goblins or orcs or something that is humanoid, something not humanoid like this, and you can really go crazy very quickly. And even though as I was doing these, they look terrible, they look terrible, they look terrible, once I did the final washes and got the flocking on the base, as you can see, they actually look pretty nice on the board. And that's what you want. You just want them to look good for the evening's adventure. Then they go back in the monster box. But I didn't want to just put this out as a picture. But this is what you can do in very fast order with speed painting. And most of this is a style I basically say where you just slop the paint on. Make sure they're sort of within the lines, but you don't even need to get close. You can have gaps between them. And then you hit them with various washes. This is like a red-brown wash. If you're interested in myconids, these little ones I got on Etsy. And I don't remember the guy's name who I bought them from, and I should have, but I didn't anticipate doing a video. But what is neat, if you just go on there and put in myconids, they're going to pop up. The prices were real reasonable. They were super clean when I got them, so I think you'll have good success with them. And like I said, just get some colors, use some different washes. And then Games Workshop, this Earthshade that they make, I think is fabulous. One of the guys who owns the hobby shop down in Bellflower called the Guild House, he used to call this talent in a bottle. And in many ways it does. It blends everything together. So even these greens and purples over here you see in these guys, I just used the white primer, put the paint on a little thin so sort of the whiter part showed through so I didn't have to do any highlighting, and then just hit it with the Earthshade wash, and, boom, you get a nice little effect. Not going to really do anything else. You more likely won't see anything like this, but I wanted to just show you that basically for 6 hours of work, this is a little armada of miniatures that you can produce. Anyway, until we have a chance to speak again, fight to me devils fight, for I hate peace, and game on.